Look who's here. Al from Bought On, the hoof trimming. So let's walk you through what's going on right now. First thing he's got to do is unhook the trailer from the back of the truck. This trailer is extremely heavy, so it requires a little bit of finagling. The nice thing is this trailer is also on hydraulics. So a lot of what he uses, if you look, he actually just lifts it off the entire back of the truck. And if you looked, you actually saw the truck rise. Pulled the truck out of the way, and now we're going to go ahead and get all of the extra gates off of it. So these guys here are if you're in a chute, right? You can run them in back, side, whatever.
No, they come right
straight through the back. And the side gates for you to go in and work on them then, right? Because the last time you were here, I didn't talk about that at all. I was like, I don't know what all this stuff's for. So. You might need a minute, so let her eat. Getting it all ready. As in his hand right there is a grinder. He actually has one for each hoof of the cow. Yeah, fun stuff. And as I said, he has 4, so they're all stored in his little toolbox here, and he hooks them all in. Now this hoof trim is also run off of electricity, so you'll see that he's using electricity to run all of the grinders, and there's a lot of hydraulics as well. Oh, it goes up. It goes up.
All right.
Time for you to go in. I think it's hilarious that she started screaming as soon as you arrived, though. That's... There you go. And then the belly band goes up. And it lifts her up a little bit. There you go. All good. So what are you looking for when you trim feet besides length, which she has very long feet?
Any kind of lesion.
Owies?
Yeah, owies.
She walks fine. She just got really long toes.
So most trimming is just
Toes.
maintenance.
So in reality, how often should you be trimming a cow's feet?
Dairy cows at least twice a year. All depends on the farm.
Okay.
All depends on the ration. They eat a lot of protein, they grow more.
Huh, I did not know that. Good to know.
We've got some herds that are twice a year and some that are 4 times a year.
Okay. This next bit, you're going to see her struggle a bit, and that is because he's actually hooking onto her hoof and her leg to pull it up and out slightly. Unlike a horse, it's harder for them to stand on 3 legs, and this keeps her safe, it keeps him safe, and it makes it easier for cleaning because they are doing some grinding. So the fighting was just her getting used to it being up. As you can see now, she doesn't care. It's different than horses.
A lot different.
So this next bit you're going to see is first he grinds the bottom part of the hoof down. So he makes it even so that it's easier for them to walk, and then he's also grinding the top portion off, which is where she's really long. So like it's an extra long fingernail. This does not hurt the animal in any way. It's no different than you getting a pedicure or your nails done. It does not hurt them. It's just excess nail parts that need to come down for ease of walking. And then when he releases it, you can see she doesn't struggle at all. She just takes it down and puts it back down, and it's very relaxed. It looks worse than it is. Once he's done with the front foot, he moves on to the back foot. The contraption for the back foot is slightly different. It's just a hook that goes around their legs, and he tries to fling it so that he doesn't get hurt, and then it gets lifted. And yes, she nervous poop, which isn't uncommon. Now you can really see on this foot just how long it is. So he's going to go ahead, clean it out, have a look at it, and get it grinded up as well. You can watch the technique as he goes ahead and does this hoof. He starts with the outer edges because that's where most of the weight is put, kind of like the outer part of our feet. And then the inner part is like the arch of our feet. So it actually has to be molded to slightly rounded. Now you are also going to see, once he gets this all ground down, how long these toes really are. And you'll understand then why it's so important to have your cow's hooves trimmed. Like, look at how long and how different they were. That's why it's very important to have this done, and it gets their legs and their muscles back to how they should and walking how they should.
I'm guessing nothing to worry about.
No.
Nothing. That's a good thing.
Make it easier for us. Choose one of those. We'll be done in no time. Oh, that's
And you lift it to your height so you don't have to bend over.
And this hoof, you can see how long it really is. And she's got a little bit of a funny wear on this hoof on the left-hand side there in your screen. As you can see, as he trims it all up and flattens it all out, it'll correct the way she was walking and make it better for her muscles, for her leg, for her bone structure, for pretty near everything. And again, you're going to see here, he's making it flat, and then look at how much he's taking off of that bottom again. So this is why this is such an important health aspect in looking after your cows. And it's one that so many people just assume that it's not necessary. But trust me, it really is. After you trim your cows, they will feel so much better.
I guess that's the reason why there's belly strap underneath them.
Yeah, they sold them. Try to lay down. Be stupid, especially Jersey.
It's interesting how the back ones, it's a different, the way it grabs it is different. I mean, I guess that's directly back. This one you gotta pull out to the side, like a horse.
The hydraulics are nice.
To show you the process again, on a front hoof here, he's going to start on the outside edges. That's where they wear. That's what their pressure goes onto. So you want to make sure that that is prepared to take their weight. And again, if you look, he's going more flat on the outside, and then he rounds it a bit on the inside. And again, you can really see the length, see how he's rounding it a bit on the inside. And he's really getting rid of that length. Did you see how long some of those were? Thankfully, the grinder makes very quick work of this process, and he's done fairly quickly, all in all, considering how strong and tough their hooves really are. And he's just shaping them here, getting down underneath and getting them all shaped up nicely. And here you can see her nice new shaped hoof. And just like that, she is now done.
I think it took you more time to unload everything than do her feet.
Always.
All right, honey. Let's get you out of there.
Due to some technical difficulties, I lost the video footage of this particular hoof trim of her exit. So I've gone ahead and inserted the exit of the previous year's hoof trim here so you can see.
Hey, girl.
My big old fatso.
There you go. How's that feel now? Your pedicure complete. Hey? Shall we go back to pasture now? Yeah. All done. All done. Look at those pretty little toes now.
She's got pretty feetsies now. Okay. Good girl. You guys can see they are definitely a lot shorter. She has to readjust her stance to having the shortened toe, just much like a horse does. It gives them a different feel, so it takes them a little bit to get their feet underneath them, figure out how it feels. Good girl. Good job. And now comes the process of putting everything back together. Like we said, it actually takes him more time to load and unload everything than to trim the actual cow's hooves. You'll see here in a second, there's a big long wire, and that is what's hooked up to our electric. We just ran an extension cord over to his machine here, and now you can see he is wrapping up his big extension cord. And these gates all get loaded on as well. And the gates are for when he needs to run the animals through a chute.
She has a love affair with both of yous. You know that, right?
So let's give you some views of the hydraulics here. So when he has the cow in there, you can see how it is actually lifted off the ground with the hydraulics to make it more ergonomical for them, so they're not bending over. It's lifted to their height. It doesn't hurt the cow any to go through any of this. In fact, this is designed to make it as stress-free as possible. You can also see the belly band there in it on the ground, and that belly band goes around them because cows that are scared sometimes will actually lie down. So for the safety of the cow and for the person trimming, that belly band prevents them from actually lying down. So if they get scared enough and their feet go out from underneath them, they will not end up on the ground. And then, of course, they have to reattach the hitch. Now, the hitch has to come off during this process because the cows actually come out the front.
So it'll drop a half ton right to the axle. He did that once because, like, one of my herds, like, that truck's a lot longer than the guy who had it before me. He just had a regular cab short box.
Yeah.
So he was able to back in to the barn, and with that one I can't do it, or my old truck even. So he's like, oh, we'll just put it on my truck. It's the same size as Jimmy's. So we put it on his truck, just went, ooh, I can't do that.
And then you just watch it drop after he hooks up. It's kind of crazy. Doors open.
Yeah.
See how much it drops? A little persuasion.
Guess you're not taking railroad tracks and bumps to.
That's the oil coming back in the tank.
Like this thing got a stomach or something? It's like a
All
cow.
day.
And of course, the last thing you need to do is to lock everything in place to make sure that it is road safe. Big rigs like this, machines like this, it's important to pay attention to all the safety protocols because there's so many moving parts. And then, of course, he needs to put the safety chains onto the back of the truck.
Yeah, you'd need some pretty good springs on the back of that truck to hold that beast up.
Oh yeah, I know a couple of guys that use a half ton, but then, you know, you spend thousands of dollars getting the suspension beefed up, and it's just not enough truck.
You might as well just upgrade and get the
Yeah.
proper truck. See ya!
Then we had a little bit of a social visit while we waited for the thunderstorm to pass on through so it would be safe for him to travel home.
A little bit of rain. And we will see him again in another year. Bye, Al. Thanks.
And if you're in Ontario and you need a hoof trimmer, give them a call.